what I thought that he was able to do. So you have Miles Austin and you have Hawkins. The three-headed tight ends of Barnage, Dre, and Cameron, I think, are going to do, very, very good. Cameron, in his contract year, picked a bad year to be injured, though, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, it's one game. Again, I mean, this is a guy that plays hurt, so, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I mean, I don't sit here and make judicious statements on a season in week 2, man. I mean, nobody's a bust.
But what I'm saying
what I
is,
mean?
had they begun 0-2, you would know that there would be depression in Cleveland today. The fact that they beat a good Saints team at least gives hope. Had they gone 0-2, people would have automatically said, "Oh Christ, Baltimore's coming in."
I don't care what people say. I will say this: Browns didn't hold on to win this game yesterday. That does not change the way they played the first 2 games of the season. It just changes the way you feel about it afterwards. I mean, to me, and I get what you're saying, because if you're dumb enough to listen to what other people say and you want to let them tell you that the sky is falling so they can hurry up and get a new quarterback on the field and serve their media agenda, then yeah, maybe that's what you would have said even if they would have lost. But had they played that game the same way and fell short at the end, it doesn't change what you saw the rest of the game. You know what I mean? This is a much improved Cleveland Browns team. How much improved, we'll find out as the season plays out. But they're a team with more heart than the Browns have had in quite some time. You can definitely. In years gone past, that missed extra point would have come back to haunt us. It would have come back to haunt us. Absolutely. I thought it was, to be honest with you. I thought that was the difference maker.
Oh, my God, we missed an extra point. This same old Browns, it's going to kill us. Who misses when 99.9% of the extra points are good and we botch it? I mean, people I'm sure thought, oh, no, here it is, same old Browns. But one thing that concerns me, and I know he's a rookie, and also Justin Hayden, Joe Hayden,
Justin
and Justin Gilbert. And I'm not saying that the tight end of the Saints doesn't do it to everybody, but they were able to pick us apart.
Yeah. Okay, Graham. Who else was able to pick them apart? I'm just curious. I mean, you can say I gotta say that I thought that the coverage on Jimmy Graham. I mean, you covered him the best you could when he's a foot taller than you are, man. There's only so much that you can do. Now, there's an argument to be made that Joe Hayden's size limitations will always hurt him against taller receivers, but I'm just saying, I thought that to just lay that on the Browns' corners, I mean, if you're getting smoked all day, burned deep down the field by guys, okay, but I mean, Jimmy Graham, to me, that's like when you lose to the Bulls and Michael Jordan is the one guy that beat you, it's like, I'm just saying, there's certain guys that are really good at what they do, man, like, it doesn't just mean Joe Hayden and Gilbert. Hey, I liked how he bounced back a couple. So it is what it is. But you can't slam all Jimmy Graham caught some passes over him.
But wasn't Hayden burned by Antonio Brown?
Absolutely, that's fine. Hey, listen, I don't think Joe Hayden's locked down. I think Joe Hayden is NFL, but best or what some people think he is. I just think that if you've got 2 cornerbacks that can play, Joe Hayden can be one of them, and they can be a very good. Effective combination. So,
okay, J-Rock. I can tell. I can hear the music in the background.
Absolutely. So. All right. Thanks a lot. We're going to hit the break, get the news. When we come back, John McMullen from the Sports Network joins us next. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about all the off-the-field stuff that went down here in the last few days. We'll talk about this Browns win with John McMullen from the Sports Network coming up next.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into...
The Sports Fix. We'll be right back. It's an addiction. The Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix@AOL.com. That's thesportsfix@AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix. Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley, they're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Signs and Ship, the official printing source of the Sports Fix. Locations in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Florida. Find out more at signsandship.com.
News break.
Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. Ray Rice didn't play, neither did Adrian Peterson nor Greg Hardy, but Ray McDonald did, and California's lieutenant governor wants to know why. Gavin Newsom is calling for the 49ers to sit McDonald, who was arrested on August 31st on a domestic violence charge. With McDonald, San Francisco blew a 17-0 lead and lost to the Bears 28-20 in Sunday Night Football. Colin Kaepernick threw 3 costly interceptions for Coach Jim Harbaugh's Niners.
Yeah, I think he was seeing things good. He threw some pretty darn good balls that got intercepted, and some really well played balls that got intercepted. I mean, tip of the cap to the defense.
It is the first time the Bears have overcome a 17-point deficit to win a game in 8 years. Andrew Luck has started 33 straight games without losing back-to-back games. And after losing their opener to Denver, Luck's Colts will host the Eagles in Monday Night Football, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. UCLA coach Jim Morris says he doesn't know yet the status of quarterback Brett Hundley, who injured his elbow in Saturday's win over Texas. The Bruins don't play until the 25th.
Sports Center on ESPN Radio is brought to you by the full juicy flavor of Johnsonville sausage. Visit johnsonville.com for affordable recipes perfect for game time or anytime. Johnsonville, served with pride since 1945.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Oh, the subject of cornerbacks is subjective. I mean, you ask the Chargers, Richard Sherman's not as good as hyped up to be. Gotta love that drama. But, hey, I'm not in the Joe Hayden is lockdown camp. I just believe he could be very good at covering guys especially when he's got a competent number 2. I do believe he's in the upper tier, but I mean, to me, though, his limitation is as much in the size as well, because as you saw yesterday, I don't know that it's fair to say. Now, you can get on him for getting burned deep, when A.J. Green gets over the top of Antonio Brown. But, when you're losing jump balls to Jimmy Graham, I mean, you can only do so much there, especially with the way they're calling things now. Like, some of those, and I'm not a Joe Hayden apologist. You guys know sometimes I'm pretty harsh on Joe Hayden. But a couple of those, man, where you're just like, how else could he have covered him? And that's what I meant when I was, how bad is one guy, or what did one guy do wrong? It's just one guy did something better at that. You know what I mean? And so that's where you can make an argument about Aiden, though, is with size matchups there. That's one of the couple of things you can point to. But I watched some of those, and I'm like, man, he's like playing a game of Twister here, and he's out-bodied by the bigger guy, man. So I just to go, oh, well, Joe Hayden, okay, slow down. I'm not the biggest Joe Hayden fan, but I'm not the biggest anti-Hayden guy either. But at the end of the day, you know, I mean, and it wasn't other guys. That's the thing, too, man, is it wasn't a truckload of those guys getting open. They got some running game going, obviously, but it was Graham was a big part of it. So, just a different monster. That's all. But anyways, welcome back into the show. J-Rock back with you. We roll on here, heading towards the top of hour 2. John McMullen from the Sports Network going to be on the phones, which means you can hit us up on Facebook and Twitter and email. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. I'm going to talk to John about the Browns' victory here. All the games. Like I said, a lot of teams bounced back in week 2. That's the fun of the NFL, watching the weeks shake out here. But, you know, of course, a lot of off-the-field stuff, as I said, since the last time, literally since the moment John hung up with us last week. So let's talk about some of that as well, the week that was for the NFL, and on and off the field, with John McMullen from the Sports Network. John, how you doing this Monday afternoon?
Oh, enjoying the latest scandal.
Absolutely.
You can never get away from it.
No, you know, really. You and I were talking last week when Ray Rice was let go by the Ravens. Then, bam, right after that came his suspension, indefinite suspension, and then the week just took off from there, and all the stuff with Roger Goodell and did he see? What didn't they know? What did they know? Here comes the independent investigator. Then hit the weekend in stride with by the way, the drug policy. I haven't mentioned it yet today because it's still the done deal that's not 100% a done deal. Although it's closer to being done than ever. It will eventually. But it's just funny. I find it funny that it's still not the done deal that everybody said it was the other day. But you had that, and all that came out over the weekend, and then Adrian Peterson heading into the weekend, and then all of that, and a tumultuous week for the NFL.
Yeah, it really is the week from hell. Is you know, it's been called the worst week in NFL history. I don't necessarily know if that's true. I think people forget quickly about, you know, things like Javon Belcher. We talked about that. Aaron Hernandez, and, you know, going back to Ray Caruth, and even, you know, O.J. Simpson, because he was still so, you know, directly linked to the NFL as a Hall of Famer and just one of the faces of the game for so long. But it certainly wasn't a good week for the NFL, and certainly not a good week for Roger Goodell. You know, I've written about it extensively. To me, he's a liability at this point because he lacks credibility to handle these situations. I don't think the Adrian Peterson, for instance, the latest, you know, whatever you want to call it, scandal, issue, I don't think it would be as big as a deal as it is if the commissioner lacks such credibility and can't really deal with it on a substantive, you know, basis because no one trusts him, basically. So I think that adds to everything. And it's, you know, we haven't even brought up Greg Hardy, and Ron Rivera's speaking right now about the Panthers, you know, trying to deflect everything, talk about their latest win, but he's also got to deal with Greg Hardy, and we still have the 49ers and Ray McDonald and that situation. So it's just an ugly, ugly time in the NFL.
Let me ask you, you brought up Goodell there and how you said he's such a liability at this point. Last week, up until the AP article came out that says, hey, no, we got this tape to somebody in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. Up until then, I really felt, okay, they're going to take some hits. They're going to take some PR hits. Goodell, a lot of people don't like him already, but the owners, he makes them too much money. He doesn't have anything to worry about here. He'll deal with some turbulence and move on. The day that came out, because it was one thing after another, and I started telling people, I said, I can feel momentum rolling downhill on this thing, getting bigger and bigger. That felt like the tipping point to me where I said, I don't think he's going to survive this. I think Roger Goodell may be, and I don't mean this as in he's innocent, but the sacrificial lamb, so to say, to get their house back in order and get you a clean slate, maybe public relations-wise. I said, man, this thing may have gotten away from him, and I don't know if Goodell survives this, where I thought for sure he